Y'all talk about the Greek Freak. He the first one with it. He the first one with it. Yeah. He the first one with a ring. Yeah.
It should have been me, not him. It's not fair.
So the Lakers are back on top, 2020 NBA champions. You can call it the Mickey Mouse ring or whatever, but if your team won it, you wouldn't be saying none. So wipe the tears away. But like I said, the Lakers are the champs, and Antetokounmpo has a ring. But not the Antetokounmpo you probably would have thought if someone told you an Antetokounmpo brother would be on a championship team before the season started. Because as you all probably already know, it is Kostas and not Giannis that won a ring this year. And naturally, this has brought up a lot of jokes about Giannis being furious and who the real Greek Freak is, but it ain't that deep for real. Obviously, we know Giannis is happy for his brother, as he even made a post about it on Twitter, and also even played along with the jokes as he acted fake mad about it in his Instagram comments. And I know, off the thumbnail, you may have thought I was gonna come on here and just really reach just so far to come up with some bogus story about Giannis actually being mad at his brother, and that's just not what I'm finna do. Anyone who claims to be a fan of the NBA knows how incredibly humble and genuine Giannis comes off as, but I cannot lie, I'm still gonna reach in this video because in this video, I'm basically going to explain to y'all why his brother's championship and this year's playoffs in general has already and will make Giannis very, very dangerous as a player going into the next season. And although I doubt he will actually win a ring next year, I wouldn't be surprised if he was just on a different type of timing in terms of his play and just put his team in position to win a championship. But before I even go any further, what's good YouTube? Plug Speaks back with the vid. If you're new, subscribe. If you think Giannis will retire as a champ, sub up. I'm posting quality hoops content 2 to 3 times a week, and we're trying to hit 1K within a month. All right, but let me get back to the vid. So like I mentioned in the intro, it's a whole lot of jokes that have arose after Kostas has won a championship before his brother Giannis. And so far, Giannis has responded to it all by both congratulating his brother and playing into the idea that he's actually bothered by it. And although I definitely do not believe he's bothered by it in any hostile way, I for sure believe it is an added motivation after this year's very disappointing loss that we don't even need to get into detail about because I made a whole vid on this situation. But to vaguely add some context, look, going into the bubble as the #1 seed with expectations of both making it to the finals and possibly even winning, where he would have won against LA and his brother. Even though Kostas doesn't get much minutes, it just plays into making the idea that the Bucks lost in the second round to the 5th seed Heat that much more sour to take in. Even though, yes, the Heat played more like a 1 seed in these playoffs rather than a 5th. But the point is, you know Giannis looks at his brother winning the championship as motivation, and while being happy for him, somewhere in the back of his head, that Yu-Gi-Oh meme just touches his soul like it should have been him. And he has good reason to believe that. He and the Bucks went through a great deal of struggles as their season came to an end, as Giannis' right ankle sprain injury that he tried so hard to fight and play through definitely just adds to the what-if scenarios that not only fans but also he himself probably juggles in his head, even though they were probably doomed to lose that series after going down 3-0 regardless. These are all things that are added motivation. If there's anything you can say about Giannis, it's that he isn't the kind of player you really want to give any added motivation. Don't believe me? Look, there's already examples of why already in his career in both short-term situations and long-term. But first, the short-term one. Do y'all by any chance remember when Hezonja dunked all over Giannis' failed block attempt and for some reason felt so mighty afterward that he not only stared Giannis dead in his eyes, but also stepped over the man?
Hezonja drives it, Middleton finishes, and then stares and walks over into the Antetokounmpo. A taunt there from Mario Hezonja. Wait on your moment here at the Garden.
Provocative moment that time. Antetokounmpo trying to block the shot in vain.
Fizdale tells about the step over. Hey now. An assist for a 3 through the defensive dunk. Fizdale takes it.
And yeah, as y'all just saw, a couple plays later, Giannis just goes right at Hezonja in transition for a heavy dunk, and Hezonja wants no parts. He does not even jump. But Giannis does not care. Anyone can get the heat as he bumps into Noah Vinley purposely on his way back down the court. But now for the long-term example. I'm sure we all remember Giannis winning MVP after the 2019 season and basically immediately saying, "Don't call me MVP again until I win it again." He didn't even wait to soak it in.
Please don't call me MVP. Listen. Please, after this day, don't call me MVP because until I win it again next year.
And would you look at that, he comes out and elevates his game the next year, although not really in terms of play style, but just doing what he already does at a higher level and wins MVP again. But after winning it this year, his reaction was different because, again, I'm sure we all saw Giannis's reaction. He said, "Do not call me MVP until I am an NBA champion."
So I guess last year when you said you can't call me MVP until I've done it twice, now we can call you the MVP, huh?
No, not yet. Not yet. I got to set a goal, which I don't know what the goal is right now. Actually, I know what the goal is. Don't call me MVP. Don't call me 2 times MVP until I'm a champion.
And you know, us fans may see something like this like, oh, whatever, cool. He's saying the right stuff, but we don't think that much of it. We're not thinking about it 24/7. But to Giannis, these words obviously mean a whole lot to him, and he is dead serious in saying it, which, like I said earlier, just makes him all the more dangerous going into the 2020-2021 NBA season. But that's not all, because moving on, I'm already knowing people will try and downplay the idea of Giannis feeling any type of way about his brother winning a ring before him. Even with me mentioning that, I doubt his feelings are hostile at all, but just more like an added chip on his shoulder. And those same people that downplay it really probably just don't understand the level of healthy competition between brothers, especially ones that are nice at sports like the Antetokounmpo bros. Moving on though, I'm gonna finish off the vid focusing more so on the level of play Giannis is going to elevate his game to. Cause a little over a year ago after the 2019 season, y'all may have forgot I didn't. Giannis stated verbatim that he's at 60% of his potential. And after this past season, just from an NBA fan perspective, going off his base statement of 60% and how well he played this year, I don't really know what number I would put on it now, but I would say he is still a good ways away from his real full potential. And I say this because, just like I said earlier, this season he expanded on what he already does well, but his actual play style didn't change much at all. And I already know what you're thinking. Why would he change it? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. The man has 2 regular season MVPs. Just shut up. You haven't even played an NBA game. And in most situations, you probably have me there, really, but ooh, bro, not in this one, y'all. This guy attempted nearly 5 threes per game this year, shooting just 30.4% from that range, which you could say isn't even that bad for someone with the height of a power forward that can even play center, but it just does not make sense when you consider how limited his post-game ability really is. I keep saying it. Literally take out the fast break situations and in the half-court offense where defenses are better prepared. Simply forming a wall in the paint or giving Giannis ample space to shoot seems to lower his effectiveness and dominance way more than it really should. And this is something I'm sure Giannis is aware of, so I'm not gonna keep going into detail about it or just keep repeating myself. It's nothing new really. It's like saying water is wet really. So with how much work we know Giannis puts into his game, I'm for sure expecting a slight adjustment within his play style next year, because man, everyone keeps talking about his soon to be availability in 2021 free agency, and he would for sure need to move on somewhere where his duo would have such a great perimeter game to offset the areas he's lacking in. And you may say, bro, that's so disrespectful to Chris Middleton. He just made the All-Star game this year. The man is a solid player, but he averaged just 15 points, 5 assists, and 8 rebounds on 33% shooting in the bubble playoffs. Look, the second best player on a team with championship hopes has to be better than that. And this could really drive Giannis to move on, because as many times as he's shown love to Milwaukee, both organizations and players have shown us time and time again that at the end of the day, the NBA is a business. Players leave after claiming they're going to re-sign. Sometimes they just outright force a trade. And on the other hand, teams will boost a player up to be their franchise player, leading them into the future just to trade them after one of their best seasons. It just is what it is. Anyway, that pretty much wraps up the video. I appreciate if you got it this far. Whether or not Giannis is on a new team after next season, expect the man to have a big year this coming season. He said it himself, don't call him MVP until he is a champion. But I appreciate y'all watching. Make sure to like the sub if new, share all of that, and I'm out.